And we are live. Welcome back to On the King's Dime. It is on the eve of the season. The new season's about to hit us. It was supposed to be a 2020-21 season, but now it looks like it's just going to be a 2021 season. A COVID-affected season, but it is about to start Friday night. We had about 6 different draw changes. It was pretty crazy, but we're definitely on the doorstep now, coming up into an interesting season. We're going to do a 9 in 45 tonight, basically go through all 9 teams, have a bit of a chat about them and their chances, and as well as the Kings. We'll talk about them. We did a little preview last week on the Kings in general. But yeah, we're going to go through all 9 teams. We've done a little homework. Shout out Matt McQuaid's article on the Sydney Kings website. If you haven't read that and you want to see a good comprehensive preview, shout out to Matty. He's done a great job on that article. We're going to have a look at some of those stats as well. So shout out to him for his work. Definitely look forward to reading more from him this season. And as always, if you're listening on Facebook at the moment, we are live and we're also putting these onto YouTube. If you want to subscribe on YouTube as well, we'll be doing a little bit more content through the season. Shout out to the tipping comp too. If you want to join the tipping comp, definitely get in before Friday, and yeah, they're still open. We'll probably close that when the NBL Cup starts. We'll have to work out what the hell's going on with the NBL Cup, sort of weave that in there, but we'll work that out. So if you want in, get in on this post or any post that we post on the King's Dime or the Sydney Kings groups, and just let us know you want in or send us a message. Anything else we need to plug? Andy's just been sitting there patiently waiting for his turn to talk.
Just patiently. What else you plug in?
Yeah, let's just bring it up here. I note that you've got some light in your back there. Like, we're doing this at a reasonable hour. Still a little bit of sunlight, which is good. They were getting later and later and later, and so now we're coming to you at a reasonable hour. Hopefully we get some people watching. If you want to comment below, definitely let us know what you think about the Kings this season. We'll shout you out. Also, fan MVP. We're going to do a fan MVP this season where we make a post after every game and then people do a 3-2-1. We did the 3-2-1 last year. Jay Sean Tate just smashed it. He won our 3-2-1 MVP. So yeah, if you guys want to get in on that, definitely like the page, and then we'll do a post at the end of each game, and then you just give a 3-2-1, whichever players you wanted to give 3, 2, and 1. Tally that up at the end of the season, and we'll add that alongside our 3-2-1 MVP. I think that's it. I think we should just get right into it. Start with the Kings.
Yes, we'll start with the Kings, but first I have to say this is a record season for ex-NBA players in the league. 15.
Yep.
There's never been anyone higher, and I think that's a testament to 2 things. I think the NBA has a higher turnover now than it ever has. I think that's one thing. And 2 thing, I think it's the attractiveness of maybe not going to Europe and maybe coming down under to play during these COVID times where, I mean, you're probably not getting paid as much, but...
uncertain times, I think, is a big part of that. But at the same time, I felt like a little bit of a global light was shone on the league last year with the LaMelo Ball. And we'll definitely talk about him when we go through Illawarra's season upcoming. But I think it's a big thing where, even though we have had a COVID-affected world, we kind of got in just at the right time to get LaMelo some hype and RJ Hampton too. Shout out to him and some of the other next stars that are coming down to Australia. Even in some of the podcasts, like some of the aggregators, they call them aggregators, have also started talking about the NBL as well, with that hype coming from the LaMelo train and RJ Hampton. And it's great to see, like, more eyes. Like, every time the NBL pops up anywhere near the NBA, like the logo, you see JT, people talking about LaMelo, the Hawks jersey. I'm like, yes, like, perfect. More eyes on the league. It's great for the league. The reduced import quota, obviously they signed that CBA, new CBA. So they reduced the import quota down from 3 to 2, which is a huge crunch on the roster. The roster's now 11, I believe, 12. I hilariously made that post where I thought we had one more roster spot, but we didn't. But now, Xavier Cooks, that's a horrible injury for him to go down. The injury replacement being Tommy Vaudeville. It's a shame we couldn't get someone with a little bit more pedigree, but we'll talk about that. The other thing I had here in the overview, should it have been hubbed? Or bubbled?
In hindsight, it could have been bubbled in Western Australia pretty effectively. But you just don't know. I mean,
Nah, it's
Brisbane's
true.
you just don't know. It could have been hubbed anywhere, but I think probably hubbed in the country somewhere would have made more sense. Everyone get there, do your quarantine, and then it's less likely to be in your Milduras, your Ballarats, maybe in your Alice Springs, your Darwin. Who knows? Like just somewhere pretty remote. That would have been, I think, a good thing. But it's I think that they're still trying to get some revenue through ticket sales at some point this season, which is important for this league to survive because it's on free to air television, it's on SBS, Twitch. It's not huge dollars in that sense. So we've got to support them this year. Buy jersey, buy some merchandise, get to some games if we can, because I think that's what's going to make the league survive.
And then, this NBA Cup I've written here, NBL Cup, that basically I feel like was a bit of a panic move. Like, we need to get something like, they've just thrown this together at the last second. That kind of like plays into the hub vibe. They probably should have done a hub, but at the same time, you're right. Like in hindsight, should have done a hub, but at the same time, things were looking pretty good for Australia until the last, month. Or maybe sort of the back end of last year, it kind of got a little bit out of hand after they made all the announcements and all the planning. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see if we can get at least some sort of complete season and that isn't an asterisk. And hopefully we'll be able to get in the stadium and watch some games, which, hopefully that happens at the end of this season. Because, I really enjoyed going to those games last year. It's starting to get a little bit of a following, a bit of a vibe going. And more fans, more people growing up watching the NBL, getting into it and getting into the NBA as well. It's great for Australian basketball. Sydney Kings, what's your just first thought straight out of the gate? What do you feel?
Rebuild year. Rebuild year, especially with Cook's gone. I think that's the kind of the nail in the coffin. We're not shouting championship at the moment. We're shouting, can this team get to the the playoffs? I think that's the big one. Is do we have enough skill? Will we have enough in the tank to get this team to the playoffs? I'm hoping so. I don't know. There's been such a kind of an upturn in the league. I think some teams have definitely improved. Some teams have stayed the same with their plays, improving a fair bit. We've lost some talent. Some teams have moved around.
Yeah, straight up huge blow to lose the coach, Bogut, and JT.
Yeah,
it's a triple blow.
We've lost a lot. And we haven't gained enough. And I said this on the last pod. We haven't gained enough for me to go, okay, yeah, we're going to be that top 3 team this year. I think we're going to be kind of fighting in the middle of the pack for that 4th spot.
So I think Adam Ford's going to have to earn his money this season. He's got a big platform for him to make a mark. I mean, if he comes out firing this team, starts the season really well, looks really good, and he builds a platform on that, I think, for him in the infancy of his coaching career as a proper head coach, it's a huge opportunity for him. Whether he has the ability and the nous that kind of Will Weaver brought, I'm yet to sort of, like, I'm hesitant. Like, the biggest thing about Australian sport, like we've said this a lot of times on here, where Australian sport is you kind of walk away at the end of a season, you wait like loads of months, and then you're just like, oh yeah, sport's back again. Like, and then you get back into it. Like, it's not like you're not connected to it every day. And the height in which this Sydney team got to in the last 2 seasons, that there were expectations, especially with Bogut. I think this year we can all kind of step back and go, I'm not expecting a big year from Sydney, and like enjoy it that way, rather than if we go into this season going, I expect like top 2 finish and possible finals, appearance. I think we're going to be pretty disappointed because I'm worried, man. I'm tipping into I'm worried about this team. I think it has the potential to be really bad. We got to see how Jarrell Martin goes. I've seen a little bit of his warm-up footage. He's looking smooth in an offensive sense, but I don't see the size and the stature for him to be that rim protector that we kind of needed, and that was obvious that we needed in that Hawks game. So I'm a bit... But at the same time, I like being in that state rather than I demand top 2 finish because, I hate being disappointed. I'd rather just be like, I'm surprised.
We were just spoiled last year to see kind of a main bench piece in the NBA really coming up to that quality of like, oh, now you're going to get a contract in the NBA and be part of a franchise, a really well-known franchise with expectations. We were pretty privileged to get that for a year, and we didn't expect that as well. So I think that was something that you can never bank on. If Drew Martin is that pivotal piece, I think the big thing for this year is Casper's shooting woes. He's got to find something, and not just hock up, because I know when Adam Ford has taken over in instances in late game where, Will Weaver did get ejected that game, he just went off chops.
That was great though. I missed that, man. Like, just thinking back of some of these things that happened last year, I was like, oh, I'm gonna miss that,
man. I didn't like the end of game strategy, so it was just go to Casper, and I think we're better than that. I think basketball's got to be better than that. There's got to be some plays. We've got to get him some overlooks, some down screen threes, and a lot more playmaking, which we did see last year, and which we did not see the year before. So
with under Gaze,
yes.
Gazy. So yeah, I like the problem is we've got a couple of slow bigs, Jordan Hunter and Daniel Kickett aren't those guys that are going to send bone crunching screens really high, which is what kind of they had in Boone at Melbourne. He's another one that I feel like. Sorry,
I think Moller can be that guy.
Yeah, but I don't think he's got to be, that 3 to 4 guy, like the guy that Cooks was basically, and he's got to fit into other spots where you're not going to necessarily go, oh, Craig, just come over and do this as well. Just, tidy up the lawn as well as like sweep the back patio as well for us, mate. Like, I don't think that's, he's already doing enough where you're just like, oh, interesting. He's fit into this role well. I don't know if piling another thing onto him is going to really be that effective. But yeah, from what I've seen of Hunter, and we know Kickett's older and slower and slowing down a little bit, can still shoot the ball. Casper didn't really look last year when he was in those lineups to use them and shoot the ball. Like, it was kind of, I'm just going to shoot it in bad spots or like give it up and not get it back. And it's a bit of a worry. But, Adam Ford's got a platform here to, put his stamp on this, get the Kings running to start the game, to start the season. And it's going to be really interesting how that goes.
Yep. Indeed.
Anything else Kings wise you want to?
No, let's get into this wider NBL.
Yeah. So we're going alphabetical order. No relation to this article at all. So 36ers to start with, 12 and 16 last year. They finished 7th. We beat them 3-0 in the season. That was a pretty good year for us. I think that was the newly headband game, or was that Gaze's year? We had that like 28-point just crazy game, and he was wearing that headband after the head clash.
I think that was Gaze's
year. Yeah, Gaze's year. That's all right. I wrote that down here anyway. We'll add it anyway. Last year they were second in points scored, which is interesting, but they were last in points against, so they had the most scored on them. They were second last in block shots for having like DJ, and Eric Griffin was on that team too. I thought that was a bit like, whoa, it was crazy to see that stat. They had all that turmoil at the end of the season too with Joey Wright. There's a lot of like internal turmoil.
Yes. Look, this team with Isaac Humphries in it is going to be a different beast.
I can't believe we didn't try and sign him. We didn't get him.
I don't. Yeah,
Gutted, man.
Got it. Is Josh Giddey running the point?
Yeah, possibly. Says here projected starters: Sloan, Giddey, Crocker, Daniel Johnson, and Humphries. Sunday Detch is on this team too. Little sneaky pickup. I think he was good last year.
Yeah, he was good. Look, from my mind, Josh Giddey is almost NBA level talent. 6'8",
huge,
floor general, LaMelo Ball style player. Probably doesn't have the range in terms of shooting. This is a team to watch out for. Isaac Humphries is a good center and has had some monster games and has a little bit of NBA background and experience. A little bit of pedigree. Got a couple of 10 days with the Atlanta Hawks. I think he had a big injury going and playing for Orlando last year before this whole COVID stuck out. And what a mad crooner he is.
Yeah, I was waiting for the pipes. Yeah, he's always an outside chance with those pipes on him, man. But this team, I don't know. They lost Drimich, the smallest tough guy in the NBL, and Froling, which was quite a big. Froling has the body and the game of one of the better NBL players, but then always just disappointed me. Like you'd always be watching him and just going, "Why can't you put this all together? Why isn't this the whole package?" Yeah.
Yeah, mentality. He's not got the Mamba mentality, I don't think.
New coach, Brendan Teese, Fitter and Turner by trade.
Yep.
By day and playing NBL by night, which is good. He's back. Keanu Pinder as well. Josh Giddey, man, I think he's Aussie too, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. That's this huge talk about him like being drafted in the NBA. We've seen Josh Green just get drafted.
For my mind, he's probably not. He won't get drafted just because of, I think, the situation in the league at the moment with the amount of heavy point guards. It's a very point guard heavy league in terms of draft prospects, and always is. He is a bit of a LaMelo style player. 6'8", big.
He's only 18, man. Damn.
Yeah.
I thought he was like 20, so he could still go to college, really.
I don't think he's eligible to go to college because he's playing professionally. Yeah. Look, will he go drafted? I don't know. Will he be in the NBA at some point in his career? I think so. Next year's a good draft for the NBA. It's a very, very high caliber draft. So it'd be interesting to see what this season. But I like this team, man. Top 4 projection for me.
Yeah, top 4. Interesting. Yep. It's a big leap from 7th. Yeah, last year was so disappointing. They were just very disappointing team. DJ, despite being their best player, you were always just like, is this it? Like, what? You know what I mean? So it was always tough for them. But, pairing him with Humphreys is huge, and we'll be interested to see how they do in general, whether there'll be another easy 3-0 for us. It'll be interesting to see. All right, Brisbane Bullets is the next one up. We said that, Drimich and Froling leaving the 36ers, going to the Bullets.
Okay.
Interesting. Nice little sneaky double pickup for them. They lose Lamar Patterson. Obviously, Will Magnay, shout out to him going over to the Pelicans, playing some G League. For them, they also lost Cam Glidden. So, like losing 3 players and picking up Drimich and Froling.
So they've got KD, Stickerman.
Stickerman? Sobe? Sobe.
Yeah, Stickerman. His tats look like stickers.
Yeah, Hodgson's still there. So the projected starters on here: Sobe, Drimich, Orlando Johnson, Vic Law, Hodgson, and then KD off the bench with Froling, Krebs, Harrison, Tamuri Wigness, the young Aussie too. He's kind of a bit of a Paddy Mills type player, a bit of a clone, like 3-and-D kind of point guard. I've watched him a few times play in the Aussie setup. He's been really good, really explosive, loves to get up and down the court. I can see him coming off the bench and having a bit of an impact on this team. But yeah, another year of safety harness. Ugh, rough.
Yeah, it's a bit rough. Look, I didn't like. I don't particularly like Andre Lamanis when he's not got a whole lot of talent to coach. And I think this is probably one of the lacking talented teams in the league at this point. I mean, you've got Sobe, you've got KD, but they can be very hot and cold, extremely hot and cold. And then beyond that, you really don't have a lot of reliable shooters or a lot of reliable give me the ball kind of players. So I really they would struggle to finish well in late games or tight game situation.
What was my call from last year, Jason Kadee? The guy that just he hits like 4 or 5 from 3 in the first half, and then he's just like stubs his cigarette out and goes home. And just like, where's Kadee? Like, where'd he go? Oh, he went home for sleep. Yeah. I don't know about. It's another year of Lamanis. I don't know, man. And with Sobe too, like another small man syndrome type guard. Pairing him with Drimich, how's that going to work? Hodgson, obviously, they were third in block shots last year with Hodgson and Magnay. Losing Magnay is pretty big because his defense around the rim was pretty good. Watched a little bit of footage on him. Their defensive field goal percentage was third. So a team that might have kind of underachieved, but at the same time losing those 3 guys, Patterson, Magnay, and Glidden, and they've lost Tarangi, Vakona, and Braun and Singler. I feel like that's kind of the guts of their team. We're looking at a fresh slate, and let's see what they do rather than being able to go, another season, type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see how they go. Cairns Taipans.
I love the Taipans.
I do like the Types, man. They were really fun to watch last year.
Kuat Noi, Scott Machado, Big Nate, Cam Oliver. It's the same core, man. It's the same core.
And they've added Mojave King, Jordan Agatai, and Jordan Hunt as well.
So Mojave King is a next star, NBA prospect. This team for me is a top 4 shoe-in.
Lock.
Lock that team in for top 4.
I think so too. Yeah, I like that, the core. So looking at their last season, third in the regular season, they lost in the semis to the Wildcats. They were first in field goal percentage, second in defensive field goal percentage, second in 3-point field goal percentage, first in defensive 3-point percentage. Can't talk properly. 8th in rebounds. It's like, what? How does that make sense? Second in assists, third in steals, 5th in block shots, 9th in turnovers. Like, what? High turnover, like couldn't defend the rim or couldn't grab rebounds. That's weird. But this is kind of the NBL stats in a nutshell. Third in offensive rating, second in defensive rating. And we were 2-1 in the season series against them. Mike Kelly, I think, won Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and I think he did a good well putting a young team together. A young team, man, with a couple of...
Hey, it should have been Weaver. But I think Machado and Oliver is probably the best 1-5 combo in the league. What do you reckon?
Yep. Yeah, I would agree with that sentiment. And they've got the best backup center in the league. It gives you 16 minutes of just beast.
Yeah. Beef is a great way to describe it. Outgoing DJ Newell. This is could be bad for them.
Could be bad, but also could be good. He was very cold last year for a lot of the season.
And very ball dominant. So I like that you kind of get him out of the way. You open up a little bit of the floor for Jeric and Kuat Noi to get a little bit more of the ball in their hands. And then you add in Mojave King. I like that. I like this where this is going. If you're going to space the floor a little bit more with those guys, sweet. I'm in.
I'm in too.
Yeah.
I do like this team, man. It'll be enjoyable to watch this team.
Big game coming up, first game of the season. We'll do the tips at the end of this. The Taipans, they're looking good. Lock them in for the finals, or for the playoffs rather. The Hawks, the almost folded Hawks. I've noticed nobody talks about that anymore. How they almost basically folded.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of, it's a small market franchise. I don't think they got on the LaMelo train enough and sold enough LaMelo jerseys overseas. Maybe they needed to do some eBaying or something. I don't know. Or go back and start selling some Illawarra jerseys and get LaMelo's name printed on the back. There was talk that he was going to buy them at one stage. Remember, he was just
there was that too. I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah.
So who wasn't Colangelo ended up buying them?
Yeah.
Or he's part owner or something?
Part owner. I mean, I don't exactly know how much.
I'm going to Google it right now. Anyway, keep going.
It's not a huge franchise, but in terms of where I see them this year again is probably dead last.
Yeah, the Gorge factor. Brought in Brian Gorge in. That's a great hire.
It's a good hire, yes.
I don't know how good a hire it is with a mess of a roster, but at the same time, it's like the Daryl Morey thing where we talk about in the NBA. You're going to get 3 seasons of he's going to work this out. Don't worry. You're not looking at this going, oh God, this could be a disaster. In 3 years, we're basically going to have to just uproot the entire thing again, start again. I think if he stays 5 years, the Hawks are going to go on an upward trajectory eventually. But I'm just looking at these ownership. Brian Colangelo and business and Michael Proctor. Yeah, Colangelo. Remember that burner phone incident? That was pretty crazy. But yeah, so last year I didn't even have to bold any of these points. They finished 9th, 5 and 23, 9th in points for, 7th in points against, 9th in field goal percentage, 8th in defensive field goal percentage, 9th in 3-point field goal percentage, 9th in defensive 3-point percentage, 9th in free throw percentage, 3rd in rebounds. They rebounded really well. I guess that was kind of LaMelo. First in steals. What?
That's LaMelo.
Yeah, 7th in blocks shots, 2nd in turnovers. Turnovers forced, rather. 9th in offensive rating, 7th in defensive rating. And they burgled the game off us. I think that was on New Year's Eve, maybe, last year, felt like. We watched that, just getting real salty at the end of that game because they wouldn't call any calls. But yeah, the Gorgian hire is big, man. I think with LaMelo Ball leaving, played half a season, it was a nice hype train. I think it was a mess of a team that basically got out of his way is the best way to describe that offense last year. Like everyone was just like, yeah, give him the ball and just do it. Let's just take heaps of shots, like whatever. They did have ex-Chicago player. I can't remember his name. Little dude.
Aaron?
Yeah, Aaron Brooks. He was good until he got that.
Yes.
His knee blew out.
Yeah.
He was good for them. And that team lacked, like it had like Josh Boone on it too, where Josh Boone's like classic, like not character locker room guy. No. Toddy Blanchfield, just like anytime he got the ball, was just like, fire it up, Toddy. Just fire it in a 3. They lose Sunday Jet, so they lost Blanchfield, Boone, Sunday Detch, Glover to the Kings, which we have talked about, but Conrad retired, David Anderson retired, and their outgoing coach Matt Flynn, sacked for Brian Gorgian. So
yeah. So what's their lineup this year?
So projected starters: Tyler Harvey, Justin Simon, Justinian Jessup, the young Warriors next star, Dengadell, Sam Froling.
The Dengadell, Sam Froling. Yeah, it's not a great. Look, Dengadell's a great pickup. I think he will help this franchise.
Playing a power forward though, maybe. I guess it's not really listed their positions, but
yeah,
if he's ball dominant, yeah. But if we see like Cavs standing in the corner trying to, spot up, I don't think
this team will have to be. Yeah, this offense will have to be built around Dengadell, because it'll be Emmett Nar facilitating Dengadell a lot, I think.
And then best off the bench, they got Bairstow, Ogilvy, Emmett Nar, Isaac White, Deng, Max Darling. Daniel Greeder is an injured reserve. Greeder was, provided a little bit of hustle last year. He's only a young man.
Cam Bairstow is not a. Is it Cam Bairstow?
Yeah, Cam Bairstow's there.
I'd say Cam Bairstow would probably be starting, wouldn't you? Like
that's in this article. It's projected to the bench.
Yeah.
So take it up with Matty.
Let's take it up with Matty McQuaid. Yeah, no, I would definitely say Cam Bairstow is probably starting at power forward, if not center, in that lineup.
So yeah, the only highlight, Gorge, I think is massive. It's going to be another pretty dismal season, I think, for them. But I think they're going to get on an upward trajectory. They got a long year.
Maybe he can lure Patty Mills in twilight retirement. That'd be
so
good.
Delhi, little Delhi action, maybe.
Delhi, anyone, bring him
anybody. On. Jonah,
anyone. Like Jonah's in bloody in the middle of the desert finding himself.
Fair enough. When he finds himself, just head down to Illawarra. Just head down Bulli Pass, down to Illawarra, down to Wollongong. Melbourne United, 4th in the regular season last year, just dismantled in the finals, in the semi.
Yes.
That was great. 15-3, a bit of a struggler of a season for them.
Yeah, started off very poorly, but did come good in the end.
They lost 4 out of the gate, didn't they? Yeah. They had some weird numbers. They were 7th in field goal percentage, 3rd in defensive three-point field goal percentage, 9th in assists. I was like, whoa, that must have been a lot of Chris Golding, because he was doing a lot of isolation play, a lot of isolation scoring.
Yeah.
Just looking at their outgoing. I'm trying to think of who was their point guard again. Melo Trimble.
Melo Trimble, yeah. A lot of Melo. Yeah, he's
steals, second in steals, second in block shots. Sean Long, I guess. Dean Vickerman's still their coach. So incoming Jock Landale, massive signing for them, I think. Scotty Hobson, that's also a pretty big signing. Jack White from Duke. And then outgoing Trimble, Long, Prather. And then, some also around guys, Smith Milner, Venky Joyce, and Pledger. It's a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Just quietly. It's a dangerous looking team.
Jack White, I think he was a captain at
Duke.
At Duke, yeah.
And Zion was there and some of those other guys, Barrett.
Yeah.
I hope I've got that right.
Yeah, RJ, Zion, and there was the trio. But yeah, that's a good team.
Yeah,
It's a good Aussie team, man. It's
Yeah.
a great Aussie team.
And you got other guys sprinkled in there. You know, Scotty Hobson sprinkled in.
Yeah.
Joe Luala-Chul, he's Aussie as well. Just looking at their projected starter, so Mitch McCarron, Golding, Hobson, Barlow, Landau. Damn, that's a pretty good lineup, man. Fuck.
Well, Dave Barlow, you can get into Dave Barlow's head. That's about the only thing.
Yeah, but he's good against the rest of the league. Like, he had a weird season last year where every time he
just junked him out of.
Yeah, he didn't have a clue what to do against him, and that was kind of the only weakness I've really seen of him over the last few years. Like, it was just, wow, this guy's like, 230 and I can't move him. Holy, like, what do I do? But at the same time, he's still shooting the ball quite well. It's an ugly stroke, but it's effective. And then, Landau at center, he's a triple threat as well, and he's only gotten better over the last couple of years. So their starters, McCarron, Golding, Hobson, Barlow, Landau, and then off the bench, Shea Ely, dirtiest player in the league, Jack White, Joe Luala-Chul, Sam McDaniel, Yadai Barber, Sam Short, development player, etc., etc.
Top four.
Huh?
It's a top 4 team.
I think it's a lock. Top 4. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
It says here they had chemistry issues last year, and then Sean Long and Trimble are always going to give you chemistry issues. I think there were the Taipans didn't have the pedigree for us to really understand their chemistry issues with Trimble, and then Sean Long, I feel like everywhere he goes, it's me. Let me shoot threes at the end of the semi-final and we'll lose. Like, remember that last year where he took like the last 3-3-pointers of the game, and which, like, yes, keep shooting. So yeah, it's a good team, man. I think that's all we need to give them. I think we definitely need to be wary. The Breakers, 6 in the regular season last year, kind of like a. Oh yeah,
They were just injury ridden, injury plagued. Last year, then they signed Scotty Hobson.
Yeah, and he just went bonkers.
He went absolutely ballistic, and played really well. It was exciting to watch some games. Yeah, they had really bad injury woes last year, and haven't really picked up any big players this year. Might be a tough year for the Breakers playing away from home as well.
So I'm just looking through there. So incoming Ty Webster, I think he was there a couple of seasons ago, left and came back. They've brought in Lamar Patterson, Colton Iverson, Daniel Trist, Rasmus Bach, Kyron Galloway, their development players, etc. So outgoing RJ Hampton, Sek Henry. Sek Henry was pretty good for them. Little nuggety kind of Kent Bazemore type player for them. Yeah. Jordan Nagatai is outgoing also. He went to Cairns. Brandon Ashley, but the big loss really is Scotty Hobson for them. Yeah, it's kind of Ty Webster, Patterson, Abercrombie, Finn Delaney, Colton Iverson as their starting lineups. Very like tier 2.5 NBL rather. It's like
NBL 1 featuring Lamar Patterson,
pretty much,
with some mid range and no defense. So.
Rough, man. So off the bench, Corey Webster, Rob Lowe, Jared Weeks, Trist Bark, Finn Delaney. Oh, Finn Delaney's coming off the bench and starting. Sweet.
Yeah. Weeks and Delaney can get jammily hot though. That's the problem. They can once they get hot, they can take a game away from you. But that's not a strong lineup for my mind.
Sek Henry's in this twice. I'm just going to double check that he's not still there, because if he's still there, I like that. No, he's definitely gone. So we'll move along. Anything else about the Breakers? Nah, I think they're a lock for bottom 3, man.
Yeah,
and I don't think they're going to be able to go back to New Zealand very often. They're going to be playing in Tasmania, I think, or they're going to be playing over here somewhere. I think they're set up over here doing some stuff. I
think that I don't know.
Nah, I keep mixing it up. That's the football. I keep mixing that up with the Phoenix are over here.
Yeah.
All right. Perth Wildcats, second last. 19-9 season, second in the regular season. Then some stuff happened. I can't remember what it was.
They lost K.
So looking at their outgoing, Nicholas K, Tariko White also left. Plumlee. I think their signing of him hinges on Cotton because the import slots got reduced to 2. So whether Cotton gets naturalized, it's a big gamble. It should happen, but still a bit of a gamble. I don't think it's happened yet. I don't think they've signed that extra
guy. No, he hasn't naturalized yet. I don't think at the moment they're doing a lot of that. So
that kind of should happen. Like he's eligible.
He is eligible. I think it'll happen sometime this season, and then next season he will become a fully fledged.
I think because I've got here their strategy hinges on Cotton. Like Maddie's written here, their strategy hinges on Cotton being naturalized, allowing them to add another import, which would probably be Plumlee. As much as we're salty about Perth, if he is eligibly naturalized and there's some sort of admin issue that stops him from happening this year, that's pretty whack.
Oh yeah, no, I'm happy for him to become an Aussie, man. He's going to play for the Boomers.
Yeah, play for the Boomers, bro.
It's just a Paddy Mills clone. You could have two Paddy Mills on the court, which would be excellent. You always have to have more shooters on the court when you're playing for Australia. But Nick Kay's a big loss for them. It really is. And Tarika White at times was quite good as well. So
he was Tarika White was always a very
at times he would get hot. And,
streaky, but at the same time, pretty solid, or knew when to get streaky. You know what I mean? It wasn't just the guy who was just like, I'm streaky in the first quarter and then I disappear. Like he would always come up in the third quarters in the last few years where you're just like, Tarika White hit 3 threes in the third quarter and now it's a 2-point game. Like far out, man. So I think that is low key a little bit of a big loss. Incomings, they've got John Mooney, Todd Blanchfield. He's just gonna just fireballs. I like that. I was hoping we get him. I would have loved supporting him, bring him back to Sydney. Kevin White, Ferguson, which is a development player.
Is Damian Martin playing another year?
Nah, he's retired, I believe. I think he's commentating. I'm gonna have to listen to his dulcet tones on one of the stations. I think he might be doing SBS. I might be wrong on that.
I cannot watch another year of Damian Martin not taking a shot.
Yeah, or just bricking shots left, right, and center, and then just coming up with huge shots where you're just like, what? Like you're an 18% shooter and you just knock down a clutch shot. Get out of here. Look, they're projected starters: Cotton, Norton, Steindl, Blanchfield, John Mooney. It's a decent lineup. It's a bit it's starting to tick down into the bit worrying.
Are you fighting for? It's not a great defensive lineup. That's the thing. It's not. Nick Kay was the defensive glue of that team.
And they were first in points against too. They were the best defense. Third in defensive rating.
Yeah. So Nick Kay, Steindl gets so streaky, it's ridiculous.
He always has great games against us.
They're going to be a shooters team. They're going to have runs. They're going to win a lot of games. They're almost like Houston. They're the Houston of the NBL. They're going to have these games where they shoot ridiculous and they'll knock any team out of the park, and then they'll have crap games. And it's just whether they can turn it off enough, to win the league. I think they're probably going to be fighting in the middle of the pack this year.
It comes with folly. I can look at this on paper and go, I don't think they're going to be. They're not a lock for me for top 4. But at the same time, beware, just 6 games in and, the top again. And you're just like, look, it all worked out. Fair enough type of thing. Just their bench is Wagstaff, Travers. Travers is a young Aussie. He looks like he's going to have another season. I think he was in there last season, lighting it up as in garbage time. Kevin White, Wani Solo Baluk, Jared Bairstow, Taylor Britt, and then, and Majok, I think, is injured. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't have them as a lock, man, for top 4.
No.
I'm wary.
They're going to be with us in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, wary, but at the same time, if they're looking like they're just running away with it, it's just okay, fair enough. Yeah, it is what it is. The Phoenix, to finalize it, to round it out, we got 5 minutes to do Phoenix. Plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
What? Tell me about what you thought about their first season.
Yeah, they...
Whoa, huge pause, and then this is problematic. No,
it was just Mitch Creek. It was just here's Mitch Creek, take some more Mitch Creek, and then throw some more Mitch Creek on top of that.
Hey, want a little Mitch Creek on top of that Mitch Creek with a side of Mitch Creek? Hey, why don't you lob it? Hey, Mitch, lob it to Mitch Creek.
Who's the guy that was coming back? Who was the old Aussie that was coming back? The shooter. Who was their shooting guard?
Ben Madgen?
Ben Madgen, who actually had a terrible year.
Awful.
Terrible year.
I felt so bad for him because his shooting just died, and it was like, bro, I feel so bad for you. Then just retires. It's like, what a horrible. Like he, I think for his pedigree in, playing for the Kings, playing overseas, I think he deserved like a couple of years. Like I feel like his season was so bad that he just like retired.
Threw in the towel. Yeah, threw in the towel.
Oh, horrible.
And it was that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. I think it was on too much on Mitch Creek. And who was their point guard again?
Kyle. Roberson.
Yeah, Roberson.
Gone. Out of here.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, Kyle.
He was good though, man. His shooting was lights out. I think he played that preseason game against us, and I think he was like 7 from 8. And we're just like, what the hell is this? Like, oh my God. Yeah. And then he had that small man guard type thing where, couldn't get past the fact that he was just launching up crazy shots. Love that down screen shot like Casper. Just was hitting it like a menace against us. I like this franchise. I think I like them as a team. They played good basketball last year. It wasn't a team that you didn't like. Like you didn't hate on them. I like Wild Kyle coming off the bench. Looking at their roster at the moment, so their incomings: Kiefer Sykes, Ben Moore, Cameron Glidden from Bullets. That's not a bad pickup. It's still a bit of a like. It's not going to get you very far. Ruben Tarangi, Yanni Wetzel. Man, I'm not even going to try and say that development player guy's name. Isaiah Moriohuhu Liafa. Oof, I might have nailed that, but maybe not. Tristan Forsyth, outgoing John Robertson, Keith Benson, Ty Wesley. He retired. Ben Madgen retired. Trist went to the Breakers. Terry Armstrong, who didn't play. He was their next star that just barely played. That was a bit weird.
Yeah, that was a bit weird.
And then Denga Kuth, why didn't we pick him up? I don't know, man. Projected starters: Sykes, Glidden, Tarangi, Mitch Creek, Ben Moore. Ooh.
Is Pinot in that team?
Yeah, so off the bench, Pinot, Adnam, Adam Gibson, Kendall Stevens, Yanni Wetzel, Isaiah Morio Huhu Luafa. I should know that name. I'll research it. Tristan Forsyth. I like this. I liked it. It was a good season. You're just like, yeah, welcome to the show. I liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
They started out, they were really good, and then they kind of dived.
It was just too much of Mitch Creek. It was 39 minutes a game of Mitch Creek, man. And it's just like, this is unsustainable. We were like 10 games in, like, they're doing well. Yeah, it's unsustainable. It's just unsustainable.
Mitch is like, hey, guys, can I get a break? Just 2 minutes, please. 38 minutes. Lock it in. So I don't know. I think they're going to be also rounds. Maybe middle of the pack, bottom of the pack. Another kind of solid-ish season. Yeah, just making up the numbers, and then Tasmania comes in next year.
Jack jumpers,
gyro G's or something. Oh man, I was like, what? And that was like a selection process too. That name, it was like a name off. Yeah. Like that. Oh, it's just like, oh. All right, yeah, cool. NBL, nice. The Jack jumpers. Yeah, so that's all the teams. We've gone through all those teams. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting season. This NBL Cup, man, is going to throw us into a spin. I think we're going to have to wait and see what happens. Let's go tipping. Sorry, is that where you were going?
Yeah, we're doing tipping.
Yeah,
let's do some tipping.
Tipping. Reminder, shout out if you're listening now and you want to get in on tipping, you can still get in our tipping comp. There's plenty of spots open. The first game is, I believe, 7:30 Friday night. So if you get your tips in before that game tips off, you're eligible for the first round. First round starting game is 36ers at United to start us all off.
Oh, I'm going to have to say United on this one.
Yeah, I went United also. I'm just adding you in, United. And then we've got the Bullets Hawks on Saturday, I think it is.
Bullets
at the Hawks. Bullets. Then we got Taipans at home to the Kings, 8:00 tomorrow, Saturday night. Do we want to go? I can't go against the Kings, man. It's my fatal flaw in tipping comps. It's Sydney or nothing, Para or nothing.
I'm gonna go Taipans just because I think Jerome Martin hasn't been in this team long enough. We got to see what this team is doing, and it's just not for my mind. And the Taipans are a pretty complete team and have played together. So I'm gonna go Taipans for this round one.
Does it have like? Can you believe it? 2 quarters in and the Kings are down 21 here. Like it has that vibe, man. I've got that in my head. There's just that vibe. Yeah.
Could be us.
Half time, the Kings down 21. And you're just like, oh my god.
We're doing a live watch as
well.
Saturday night.
You're dropping that announcement right now.
Yeah, let's drop it and then we'll put out an announcement on Facebook. Yeah, we're going to do a live watch.
Yeah, watch along. So yeah, come along and send us comments. Let us know what you think. We'll be doing a watch along. And then probably, we'll do a post-game after that as well.
Yep.
So 36 is at home to the Phoenix Suns, the Melbourne Phoenix, Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
I'm going to go 36ers.
36ers. I also went 36ers in that. That'll be an interesting game. I think the 36ers are good enough to beat the Phoenix, but not good enough to beat the United, It's that kind of vibe. And then to finish the round, the Taipans at home to the Hawks.
Taipans. Yeah,
Taipans for me also. And that rounds out the first round of the tipping comp. It is locked in. I'm not going to do our tips. Do I need to do our tips every week? My tip, like you and I's tips? Because I was doing but I was doing like a little like graphic. I don't need to do that.
Oh, no.
There's more people in the comp. I'll do like a focus on the people rather than us.
Yes, yeah. We'll just try and sneak in and win it.
We're a bit dismal last year. Poor Fox. We're all chasing him. He's got the little crown on the graphics today. If you want that crown, get in on the tipping comp and make sure you get your tips in, and we'll try and all dethrone Paul Fox. And there's a little prize at the end of the season. It's the Kevin Lish, the annual Kevin Lish stud shirt. And if you come to a game, I'll give it to you in person. You get to say good day and take the shirt and take a photo and put it in the group, as Paul Fox did. Paul Fox! We're all chasing him. I think that's it.
That is.
Until the season starts. So
Saturday night.
Any final vibes
Saturday
to give
night.
Off?
It's been a long time coming, man. Let's just hope that it's not like the NBA and we just start postponing games and just it all kind of falls to the wayside. So let's hope we get a season. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Definitely, everything's crossed. So hopefully, we get a full season of basketball. Hopefully, they can pull off this cup idea and then run it alongside the league. Run alongside the league rather than actually have it as the league.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can like, share, and subscribe on Twitter, on Facebook. We're also on YouTube. We're putting up these in audio form. We're on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and Podcast Addict as well. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you guys next time
on the King's Dime.